All right, I'd like to call to order. Roll call, do we have to do roll call?
No, I think we have a quorum.
I think we have a quorum, okay.
You don't need to put that on.
Oh, I don't know. Well, then turn it off. All right. Sorry, I lost my place. Thanks, Tom. All right, I'd like to make a motion, or someone can make a motion for approval for the minutes?
I'd move approval.
There's no minutes, I think. No minutes.
No
Oh,
minutes.
because that canceled, yeah, got it, okay. So good job. All right, so let's move on to new business. I'd like to introduce staff.
So you can announce that we're doing NPH1 and announce the
Yes.
item.
New business.
But do announce that it's a quasi-judicial hearing, so
Do I
if
do it
there are,
like this now?
yeah.
That's fun. Okay. Quasi-judicial procedures apply when a request.
Oh, you don't have to read that.
That's what you just
I'm
said.
sorry. Read that paragraph.
Oh, the paragraph, okay. NHPA 1, Apex Pathers rezoning, and this application is requested for a zoning district change on approximately 1.7 acres of undeveloped land for the current A-1A agricultural district and B-1 business district to general, or GC, general commercial district, or the most appropriate zoning district consists of two parcels, one at 624 Southeast Monterey Road, generally located 0.1 miles east of Southeast Willoughby Boulevard, with access to the south side of the Southeast Monterey by the way of private Southeast Veterans Avenue. In Stewart, including with this application, is a request for a certification of public facilities exemption. It is, do I say who's requested
Yep.
by? Okay. Requested by Kristen Stake, Esquire, McCarthy Summers, and presented by John Samat, Senior Planner and Growth Management Development.
And so also announce that this is a quasi-judicial hearing.
Oh, this is
So
it.
if there are any
Okay.
ex parte communications, they need to
Okay,
announce those.
I'm learning. This is what they get for making me chair.
Doing fine.
I'm sorry, repeat that, quasi-judicial. I can't even.
So the LPA just needs to disclose if anybody has ex
Anybody,
I have
had
no
anybody
ex parte communication.
communications with
I
the
have
party
no-
being
I have no
presented?
ex parte communication.
And if there's anybody that needs to be sworn in,
Yes.
they need to be sworn in.
Anybody who's giving testimony except attorneys, please stand and raise your right hand. And Rebecca will swear you in.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And there are no interveners.
No interveners.
So,
John?
Thank you, members of the LP. Thank you, Chair. I'd like to make a correction. There was a typo on that. I'm actually Brian Elam, Principal Planner with Growth Management.
You look like a
John?
Brian. That's really strange.
Don is much younger, and he'll be up next.
My mistake.
All right. For the record, Brian Elam, Principal Planner with Growth Management Department. A copy of my work history has been filed with the clerk. This is a request by McCarthy, Summers, Wood, Norman, Melby, and Schultz, PA, on behalf of Apex Pavers, Inc., for a proposed amendment to the Martin County Zoning Atlas for a commercial designation consistent with the existing commercial general future land use. The proposed amendment is to change the existing zoning district classification from A1A Agricultural District and B1 Business District to GC General Commercial District, or the most appropriate zoning district. The approximate 1.7 acres property consists of two parcels located a tenth of a mile east of Southeast Willoughby Boulevard on the south side of Southeast Monterey Road at 624 Southeast Monterey Road in Stewart. Access to the property is from the Southeast Monterey Road by way of the private street Southeast Veterans Avenue. And included with this application is a request for a certificate of public facilities exemption.
Oh,
Current zoning on these property, or on this property, is A1A Agricultural District and B1 Business District. Just like to point out that it is two parcels. This rectangular area here is one, and the remainder is the other one, which make up this property. And the one with the private drive on it actually has 2 zoning districts on it. So the current zoning on the property is A1A Agricultural District and B1 Business District, which are Category C districts. The A1A Agricultural District is not consistent with the commercial general future land use, therefore this request to rezone is considered mandatory. Although the portion of B1 zoning on the parcel is consistent with the future land use of commercial general, it's under common ownership, and since it's also a Category C district, the rezoning of the B1 portion in conjunction with the mandatory rezoning of the A1A zoning district is appropriate. There are 2 standard Category A zoning districts available to implement the commercial general land use policies, the Comprehensive Growth Management Plan, the CC Community Commercial District, and the GC General Commercial District. The PUD zoning is also an option. Planned unit development districts offer more design flexibility to applicants for proposed projects. In exchange, the district requires additional benefits to the county and more controls by the county. Just a view of the development standards for the 2 available Category A zoning districts. Structure setbacks are identical, and there's a little bit of differences in the maximum building coverage height and minimum open space between the CC and GC. Development review staff have found the Apex Pavers, Inc. rezoning application to comply with all applicable regulations, and the Comprehensive Growth Management Plan is detailed in the staff report. Staff has concluded that the requested GC General Commercial District is an appropriate zoning district with respect to the application of the goals, objectives, and policies of the comp plan, the land development regulations, and county codes, and staff recommends approving the request to rezone from A1A Agricultural District and B1 Business District to GC General Commercial District. That concludes the presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
I have a question mostly about that rather odd, long piece of easement that's going to be zoned general commercial bordering on a residential zoning area. And I'm wondering how best to have them comparable and consistent with each other.
Residential.
So if you go back to the zoning chart, isn't that residential, or the red block?
Mr. Moore, that's general commercial. It's the RES is the resolution.
Okay.
Yes.
So this
Thank
is a
you.
good picture really here. This is an island of unincorporated Martin County. If I pull up the map, you'll be able to see that the rest of this has been incorporated, or Stewart has annexed it. It's part of Stewart. So we have a little island of unincorporated Martin County. And you can see that either through direct resolution or through covenant, almost all the properties have been rezoned to general commercial, except for, I think, where the Veterans building is. So it is the consistent and appropriate.
Yeah, it's my error. I did not see the GC. I just saw the RES and was concerned.
That line's going right through it.
Yeah.
Since this is a mandatory rezoning,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to call for a vote.
Well, we have to hear the applicant.
The applicant will give a presentation.
Is staff,
This is in the city of Stewart, where we can get rid of this quickly.
I'd love to hear from her, but my way's turned out.
Well, we need her to turn in her notices, at the least.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Spake from McCarthy Summers on behalf of the applicant. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm providing our confirmation that we mailed out our notices. I cannot improve on that. If you all are ready to vote, I won't even have Mr. Figman come up. If you have any questions, we'll answer them, but if otherwise, I will be happy to step away.
Board members, any questions?
Do you have all the access to the property that you need with those two easements?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I call for a vote, please.
We got to make a motion to do something.
I make a motion, we vote on this.
All right, so would it be to approve staff's recommendation for general commercial?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is the one they should record it. Alrighty. By December, I'll have this down.
So, yeah. So after you announce the next one, Mr. Hartman wants to speak.
Okay,
After you announce NPH 2, then Mr. Hartman, in abundance of caution, is going to declare conflict because he was involved in the sale of it. So,
okay,
but first, if you can announce it.
okay, will do.
Madam Chairman, Paul Schilling, Growth Management Director. May I just for a moment, wanted to take an opportunity to introduce Mr. John Sennett. He joined us approximately a year and a half ago, and you'll be seeing him more frequently now as his applications have got to a point where they're actually gone through the review process and are ready for not only your consideration, but also the Board of County Commissioners. So just wanted to take that opportunity.
Can you pronounce your last name for us?
Senate,
Senate, okay.
Senator, State Senate.
That's kind of a sad testimony. It took a year and a half for you to catch up.
I'm getting there.
That was by design.
Way to go, Paul.
He's a rock star, though.
Okay, well, we're moving on. We have NPH-2, Eric Bush rezoning. It is G088-001, quasi judicial. This application is request of zoning district change on the approximately 20.1 acre undeveloped site from the current A2 agricultural district to AR-5A agricultural ranchette district and the most appropriate zoning district. The subject site is located on west of Southwest Green Ridge Lane, approximately 0.6 miles southwest of intersection of Southwest Green Ridge Lane and Southwest 96th Street in Palm City. Including the application is requested by certification of public facilities exemption. And presenting today, requested is George Missimer with Culture and Herring, and John, not Brian, Senate, Senior Planner, Growth Management. Well, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Just
Wait a minute.
before we
I need
start.
to recuse.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's
I
right.
was the broker involved
Sorry.
in the sale of this.
Did we have any disclosures? I
Nope.
apologize.
So he's going to, so if anybody has an ex parte communications to disclose?
I have no ex parte communication.
None.
And Rick is recusing himself.
Okay.
Right. Yep. So then we need any witnesses who are going to give testimony who are not attorneys, please stand and raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the
only have
truth,
two
the whole
pairs of
truth, and
glasses.
nothing but the truth?
I do.
I don't think it.
Okay, and there are no interveners?
Good evening, members of the LPA. I'm John Sennett, Senior Planner with Growth Management. I'm here to present the rezoning application for property owned by Mr. Eric Brush. He requests to rezone from the current A2 agricultural district to the AR5A zoning district to implement the policies of the agricultural ranchette future land use designation. This application is also known as the Green Ridge Ranch rezoning. It's located on the west side of Southwest Green Ridge Lane in western Palm City. It's just over half a mile southwest of the intersection of Green Ridge Lane and Southwest 96th Street. It's approximately 20 acres in size, 20.1 acres. It's currently undeveloped. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention a copy of my work history has been filed with the clerk. The existing land use of the property and the surrounding properties is agricultural ranchette. The existing zoning of the property and the properties to the west, south, and east is A2 agricultural district, which is the category C zoning district. There is an existing AR5A zoning district a short distance to the north of the property. Because the existing A2 agricultural district is a Category C zoning district, this rezoning is being processed as a mandatory rezoning to a Category A zoning district, which implements the policies for the agricultural ranchette future land use designation. There are two standard Category A zoning districts, which implement the agricultural ranchette future land use designation. Those are the AR5A and the AR10A. A PUD zoning is also an additional option for applicants. Mr. Brush is requesting the AR5A zoning district. These are the development standards for both the AR5A and AR10A zoning districts. The setbacks are 40 feet all around, front, side, and rear. Minimum open space 50%. The only real difference is minimum lot size and allowed density. The conditions supporting the AR5A zoning district as requested would be the existing future land use designation of agricultural ranchette for the property and the surrounding areas. There's an existing AR5A zoning district located north of the property. And to the east of the property, there's an existing residential subdivision known as Green Ridge Estates, which was platted in the late 1970s, and that consists of 5-acre lots consistent with the agricultural ranchette future land use designation. Development review staff have found this rezoning application to comply with all applicable regulations and the comprehensive growth management plan as detailed in our staff report. We recommend approval of this request to rezone from A2 agricultural district to AR5A agricultural ranchette district.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Sennett?
I have a question, and I'm not sure I know the answer entirely before I ask, so it's an honest question. Have we looked at AR5 outside of the urban service boundary and outside of the secondary urban service boundary as it relates to 7913?
7913, I'm not familiar.
Is the requirement to provide water and sewer to new developments outside of the urban service boundary?
The AR5A, I know, is definitely present outside the urban services boundary. For the comprehensive plan, development on, single-family residential development on AR5A lots, septic tanks would be permissible under that style of development.
We haven't evaluated that further right now. I mean, they would have to comply with any state laws, but they are on septic right now.
Right. No, I
Yeah.
understand that, and I think the ruling would be anything over 1 acre would still be permissible.
Right.
I just don't know if we have, as a county, looked at that yet. No?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I'm.
I don't think utilities has, and if they have, they haven't shared. But we can look into that for the next
Okay.
one.
I think, if we're going to be preempted,
Yeah.
we're likely to be preempted.
Any other questions, board members? I'm just giving them a chance.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, can George Missimer? You're going to say your name, so it's fine.
Good evening, George Missimer with Kotler and Hearing for the record. I have brought our notice that this meeting has been properly noticed to the surrounding property owners. I'd be happy to go through the presentation. It's all the same information that John went over. I couldn't be able to add anything else that he didn't cover, but I'd be happy to answer any specific questions that you had for me or for the property owner.
This is a mandatory again?
It's a mandatory rezoning.
I make a motion we approve.
You can't make a motion because you recused yourself.
Wait a second. Slow your roll. Is there any question?
No, I think the only question that I could possibly come up with was, there appears to be a separation between the AR5 to the north and this property along thin, looks like an easement perhaps? Or is that a drainage right of way? Oh, it's a drainage ditch, okay.
So then I'll make a motion that we approve staff's recommendation to send to the commission.
I'll second the motion.
And just for the record, there's no public for public comment. I don't think I said that last time.
Just for the record, there's no public comment.
There's nobody here.
So you have the motion and a second.
Down. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
You got to announce the vote.
Yeah, just say the motion passes unanimously.
Motion passes with
4-0.
Yeah, well,
With one abstention.
one
One
abstention.
abstention.
Yep, 4
And you
to
see what happens when I invite all my friends here?
All right.
Thank you very much.
you got all this.
Before we adjourn, I have a question while we got staff here. This is kind of silly to me, this whole process, because I've seen too many people come in. It's a mandatory zoning. It's 1 unit per 5 acres. It's costing them $295 for an application fee, and then another $1,000. So there's $1,295 that a man has to do to get a mandatory rezoning that should have been done when the comp plan was done. And then I don't know what Eric's paying him, but I'll bet it's close to $1,000. So to get this done, it's costing him over $2,000. That's extortion. And somehow that needs to be changed. That I'm not stupid, and I've been in the real estate business for a long time, and I would hate to have to do this myself. I would be forced to hire somebody to help me with this. So as a county, when you got a mandatory rezoning and we don't have a choice whether we're going to approve it or not, why do we put a landowner or an applicant through this process? There's got to be a better way to do this, and I'm looking for some kind of guidance that I just don't get it.
In order to rezone the property, the county is required to have a quasi-judicial hearing that presents evidence and gives the public the opportunity to speak, so we have to go through that process.
But it's mandatory. If it's mandatory, why do we got to do all that? And why can't the county say, okay, we've got a bunch in Palm City Farms, a bunch of those lots that are going to have to go through this.
Right.
So why can't, we should have done this when we did our award-winning comp plan. Why didn't the county just proactively go and say, okay,
They would have to notify every landowner and make sure it was okay with them, because we just can't change the zoning on somebody's property without their permission legally. And then it would require it's a big undertaking, and not everybody might want to do that because you're forcing them to do something, and property owners don't usually like that. So it's,
Yeah, I think, Paul Schilling for the record, so at some point in the past, I don't know exactly when, a couple decades ago perhaps, and maybe a little longer, there was that very concept of kind of a mass rezoning, for lack of a better term, and that did not go over well
with who?
with the property owners. Yes, sir. There were a variety of circumstances in which a rezoning could have unintended consequences based on the current development of the property or the permitted uses on the property or development standards that were utilized on the property in conjunction with the article with Category C. So that is my recollection of stories that I've been told as far as that goes. And the other would be just the public participation and public notification of rezonings. And I understand the mandatory nature. There are on occasion differing zoning districts that are appropriate. For example, maybe in commercial where it would be community commercial, a lesser intense commercial, as opposed to general commercial, the more intense. So even though it may be mandatory, there are at times choices that could be made based on the particular nature of the application and the surrounding area.
Even be considered a taking
Without the public hearing, yes.
without a public hearing?
without a public hearing and without giving each landowner the opportunity to choose what they want for their land, because like Paul said, there's different zonings for different parcels, so technically, potentially, yes.
Such is life.
So that's why we have to do this.
But the cost is outrageous. I mean, to me, it's outrageous. So this guy's into it for $2,295, and he hadn't even got a building permit. He's got nothing. And just to be able to go forward, he has to spend $1,295 if he does it himself. To me, that just seems criminal. It just doesn't, it's extortion. So, and I know it's not going to go anywhere, but you can tell, this has bothered me for a number of years, that we don't have a choice. And then to come up with the 10-acre deal, I don't know, is there anything in the county that's zoned at 10 acres that somebody's got? I mean,
Not that I'm aware of, no. The AR-10,
yeah,
not that I'm aware of.
yeah, me either.
In most cases, it's the AR-5A consistent with the 5-acre minimum.
You don't have to stay if you don't want to. I'm just.
He's being paid to be here anyway.
Looking
Up
over.
to an hour, he's got it on the clock.
It's just been something that's bothered me. This just doesn't seem right.
It's maybe
But-
something you can bring up with your commissioner.
Oh, boy. I wouldn't burn them right now with that.
No, I'm just saying,
Why not?
his commissioner that appointed him.
I'm done venting.
Okay. He's off his soapbox. Okay, any other board members have any comments?
I will not be here at our meeting in the second one in May.
In May?
Yeah.
Okay.
What date is that again?
The first meeting is May 2nd. We do have an application on the 18th of April.
I'll be here for that.
Okay.
Okay.
I already have that one, I believe.
I forget the meeting in second,
It's this
Right.
2 weeks later.
16th.
Staff, any additional comments?
I don't have any comments.
Okay,
Thank you.
further ado?
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Job, John.
Thank you. All in favor?
He rushes for that.